I was rushing to my son's hospital bedside when a stranger pulled me into a dark room and hissed, "Don't make a sound if you want him to live." My blood turned to ice. Just moments before, I'd been in my kitchen, the world still normal. The phone rang. It was Chloe, my daughter-in-law. Her voice was a detached monotone. "Liam had a fall. He's at County General. You can come." The line went dead. I didn't grab my coat, just my keys, and drove through streets that blurred into streaks of light. My mind was a storm of fear. When I found the ICU corridor, it's bright. Sterile silence was deafening. I was just steps from his room, my entire being focused on reaching him, when an arm hooked mine and pulled me into a supply closet. A woman in scrubs held a finger to her lips. Her eyes were wide, urgent. "Please," she whispered. "You can't go in there yet. If you do, you'll sign his death warrant." The world tilted. I leaned against a shelf of linens, my legs weak. She cracked the door open a sliver. "Listen," she mouthed. Chloe's voice, smooth as polished glass, drifted in. "Once the asset transfer is complete, the business is mine. If he doesn't wake up, well, that simplifies things." I realized then I wasn't in a hospital. I was on a battlefield. My phone was in my hand. I tapped the record button, my fingers crumbling so violently I almost dropped it. The scent of bleach was suffocating. My mission was no longer just to comfort my son. It was to destroy the monster who was pretending to love him. My name is Evelyn Reed. I'm 65 years old. My son, Liam, is my only family. He is my heart living outside my body. And in that cold, dark closet, I had to become the warrior he needed. Less than an hour earlier, my life was quiet. I was warming milk for tea when the call shattered the silence. Chloe's lack of detail, her coldness, it was all wrong. I drove like a ghost, my thoughts screaming louder than the engine. The hospital lobby was a whirl of noise and light that meant nothing. I found the elevator, found the third floor, my vision swimming with unshed tears. I was so close. And then I was hidden, a spectator to my own nightmare. The nurse, Maya, her badge said, pointed through the crack. Chloe stood with a man in a sharp suit, a briefcase at his feet. "The power of attorney is key," the man said, his voice a low rumble. "With it, you control all medical and financial decisions until he wakes up, if he wakes up." I felt the air leave my lungs. They were discussing the home I'd spent 30 years in, the nest egg I'd given Liam to start his tech firm. It was all being handed over to this woman with a smile like a shard of glass. Maya squeezed my arm. "You can't react. Not yet. We need proof. If you burst out there, she'll have you removed, and we lose our only shot." I nodded, swallowing a sob. I gripped my phone tighter, the red recording light a tiny beacon of hope. Maya slipped out, leaving me alone with the hum of the building and the sound of treachery. Chloe's voice continued, a venomous purr. "I've been careful with his supplements. The doctors think it's exhaustion. No one will ever know." Rage, cold and sharp, cleared my head. I touched the key in my pocket, the one to my safe deposit box holding all the real deeds and documents. "You planned for everything, Chloe, but you didn't plan for me." When the hallway fell silent, Maya returned, her face pale. "Mrs. Reed," she breathed. "I've been monitoring Liam for weeks. His symptoms, they align with poisoning, a specific toxin. It's what happened to my cousin. They called it an unknown illness." The floor seemed to drop away. Poison? The months of Liam feeling unwell, the dizzy spells I'd blamed on overwork, it was all intentional. A toxicologist, Dr. Evans, is running a discrete test on Liam's 4-line right now, Maya explained. "We'll have answers soon. My son was being murdered drop by drop, and I was supposed to play the frail, ignorant mother. What do I do?" I whispered, my voice cracking. "You go in there," Maya instructed. "You be the grieving mother she expects. Cry. Hold his hand. Do not let her suspect a thing. I'm pulling the security footage that shows her tampering with his 4 bag." She showed me her own phone, another recording saved. This was our first real evidence. I took a shuddering breath, straightened my sweater, and stepped into the blinding light of room 304. Liam lay still, a maze of wires and tubes. He looked so small. Chloe sat primly in a chair, her composure unbroken. She looked up, a faint, dismissive smile on her lips. Evelyn, they say he needs absolute quiet. I forced my shoulders to slump, my voice to waver. I need to be near him. Suit yourself, she said, turning back to her phone. But don't interfere with the doctors. All decisions go through me now. I simply nodded, playing my part perfectly. I sat beside Liam, taking his limp hand in mine. His skin was cool. I remembered him as a boy, promising he'd always take care of me. Now the roles were reversed. Chloe stood and smoothed his blanket, her fingers lingering near the Ford drip. It took every ounce of my will not to scream. The door opened and Maya entered with a man I assumed was Dr. Evans. They were both wearing gloves. Maya gave me a slight, almost imperceptible nod. Chloe stood up, her smile tight. Can I help you? Dr. Evans didn't look at her. Routine medication check, he said, his voice leaving no room for argument. He began examining the 4-bag and line. Chloe's eyes darted between them and me. I kept my face a mask of tired confusion, but inside, my heart was a drum of triumph. The game was turning. I looked at my son, my lion, and I sent him all my strength. A mother's love is the most dangerous force on earth. The night was long, but I didn't sleep. I watched the dawn paint the room in pale gold. Liam's color was better. The beeping of the monitor was the sound of hope. When Chloe returned in the morning, bright and polished, she immediately started again. There's some urgent paperwork, Evelyn, to help the doctors act faster. I looked at her, my eyes clear for the first time. I think we should wait for the doctors to finish their new tests, I said softly. The flicker of panic in her eyes was everything. I texted Maya under the table. Now, the final move was ours.